All right, we continue. We'll continue on with our Euro series. Noah is joining us today alongside Imran, who's almost always here. We continue to talk about Group D and we review what happened in Group 3, the matches, the results, implications of where the team is now that they have moved on, specifically talking about England having to face the second place winner of Group of Death, and also Croatia jumping Czech Republic to where they get to face second place of Group E, I believe. And I can't even dive through to talk about Czech Republic because we have no idea who they're facing. Really depends on how other things work out. But as far as we share the screen here for the group standings. So yes, let me say it again. England finishes first place, 2 wins, the draw against Scotland. Croatia finished second place, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, alongside Czech Republic, who also qualify as a third place team, have 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. They also have 4 points. Actually, I believe not financial, but FIFA fair play came to separate these two. Something about yellow cards and red cards, I believe, something like
Is
that.
it? I thought it
Oh
was
no! I think it was goal
four
scored.
goals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
goal scored. Goal scores. Croatia scored 4, Czech Republic 3. Yeah. And Scotland finishing last, getting their results that they wanted against England, but not coming up with the goods against Czech Republic in that first game, or Croatia in that last game, which is a pity for Scotland. But they played well all 3 games, and they really don't have anything be thankful. They just didn't have the quality the other sides have. Real quick on England, I never thought that they looked good in any of the 3 games. I thought there was stretches. That 20 minutes against Croatia, the first game, I thought they looked fantastic. About a 10-minute stretch this game, I thought they looked pretty good, where they had that Luke Shaw ball to Sterling, and then they got that goal from Grealish. I thought they moved the ball around well, played really good attacking football in that sense. Other than that, has been very underwhelming for me as a football fan watching England. They get the win, but I don't think this is the way that they want to enter the round of 16 fixture, where they're going to have to face, a top team from Group F. I don't think they got the momentum that they needed. And, I mean, as far as for England, they did win the group. They did take care of their business, but, there's still a lot of questions to be asked. We'll talk about real quickly about the round of 16 and how that face out. But that's my thoughts on England. Croatia, I gotta say, I was even more underwhelmed with Croatia for long stretches. I thought they were really bad against England, and I thought against Czech Republic, it took a moment of magic from Perisic to even get a point there. But they did play against Scotland, and they played actually pretty well. Even though it came down to a while with a fantastic Luka Modric goal, and really came down to class players make class plays, big time players, big time plays, and Luka Modric with that fantastic outside of the heel. The quality between them separated them, and I think Croatia deserved to finish second place because, in my opinion, Czech Republic got a cheat goal on that penalty, which 99 out of 100 other times is not a penalty. And he looked at the blood on Codella's nose, and so in Czech Republic, yeah, they played actually well. I don't have much to say about them. They had moments of magic against Scotland. I got that past Scotland. They got the goal against Croatia and they held on for a point, and nothing much. And against England, they had a couple spells, nothing too special. Yeah, I think that they're honestly gonna be the worst team that make it to the round of 16. And good luck to them. Imran.
starting with England, I know they got 7 points, but they didn't play that well. And I mean, they played well in this game, but the first 2 games they really didn't. No, they played well in the first half of the Czech Republic game, but in the other 2 games they didn't play well at all, except in the Croatia game for a little bit early on in the game. I mean, this game in the first half, I thought Luke Shaw and I mean Saka, he once started the match and he was pretty good. Maguire helped them a lot with his passing, but in the second half, they just let Czech Republic have the ball and they weren't trying to control the ball at all. Like they couldn't retain the ball very well, and I mean It's just not good enough.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I stopped watching England at that point. I had two setups, my bigger TV and my smaller TV. And after that first half, and I saw, the first 5 minutes of that second half, I was like, man, no. And I moved on to watch Scotland, Croatia, which was actually a pretty decent game. I thought that game was actually pretty good. Turned out Croatia to
Yeah.
win, but Scotland actually played really well. But yeah, all three games, my takeaway coming out from England is, man, boring, defensive, pragmatic, and all the things that I've said about Portugal also. Noah.
England was very mediocre. I expected more from them. Against Croatia, as you said, they started off well, and then it just looked pretty bad. And they're lucky Croatia didn't get a goal. I mean, Croatia didn't play well either. But England, I mean, they should have came out with 9 points. I don't know how they drew with Scotland out of all teams. And it's going to be concerning to see them in the round of 16. Yeah.
I'll take
Noah, do you want to Noah? Yeah.
For the other team.
First, I gotta no. Don't you don't have to worry about the other teams, but no, I got a question. So, Czech Republic over Croatia, that didn't work out. How do you feel about that crazy prediction?
Well, I was this close because of goal difference. Well, it doesn't matter now, but I mean, I was really close. I mean, Croatia. I mean, it took Perisic to get him a point. I mean,
Oh,
you gotta
you
be
could
kidding
say,
me.
yeah. Hold up.
But
But yes, I
It
know
took
the
Czech
50-50
Republic
challenge.
a cheat goal to get a point
I
too.
know a cheat. I know, but considering who's the better, okay, yeah. But Czech Republic just had to score one goal against England. They couldn't get it done, and then Perisic got a goal, if I'm not
Magical goal.
mistaken. Yeah,
It was a moment of
and
brilliance.
Croatia ended up scoring 3 times against Scotland, and they just took ahead. Now they're
Yeah,
second.
that last Perisic goal, that was the goal that moved them ahead of Czech Republic, that gave them, in my opinion, a slightly easier pass, depending on who they have to face. Even if they have to face Spain, who might finish in second place, it's not like, Spain is good, but it's not like they're France or anything. In fact, in 2016, the last Euros that Croatia played, they actually ended up playing Spain in the group stages, and they beat them with a Perisic winning goal in the 89th minute. I believe it was a mistake by De Gea. What's new about that? A mistake by De Gea. He doesn't have to face De Gea again. He'll face Inai Simon. But yeah, it's not like this Croatia team, is scared of Spain. They got some players from this squad that played in that squad. So, yeah.
One thing I have to say.
And then
One thing I have to say is Croatia proved me wrong. I thought they were in trouble after one game, just based on how they looked, and they have more talent. I don't know what made me see that, but yeah, Czech Republic, I was also wrong about. I mean, it took them a penalty, which is not really a penalty, shouldn't have been, to just even get a goal, and they're gonna get smashed depending on who they play around 16.
and real quick on England, yeah, by this time next week the tournament will be over for them, because they're gonna have to go up against either Germany or France, and no, they're not beating any of those two teams. They might as well pack home, just like what I said about Austria against Italy. Football's coming home, football's going on. Well, guess what? No, it's not. It's not. Number one, football is not coming home, because the home of football is Brazil. What do we consider the home? I don't know what that is, but okay. Number two, yeah, it's just again, it's a classic case of English media overhyping their players, overhyping their manager. And I do not get how the English press does not attack Southgate the way they attacked Capello, Sven Goranson, any of the previous managers, really. But it doesn't matter really. That's getting a little bit off the point. When England lose to France and Germany, which is inevitable in my opinion, then they got a lot of moves to make. Will they keep Southgate? Who knows? Is this approach working? They got a lot of questions to answer, but they do have a really good squad, and they can focus on 18 months for the World Cup. I'm acting like it's already over for them, but it is.
I mean, they have a chance because they have a lot of talent, but it's just they haven't been convincing enough to say they'll win a game against Germany or France. To talk about Croatia, I mean, I didn't expect them to be as good as 2018 World Cup, but I still expected more in their performance. Like against England, they really weren't threatening at all. I mean, England only scored one goal and it wasn't even. I
They
mean,
weren't threatening against Czech Republic other than that goal too.
yeah, same. Yeah. I mean, they got unlucky with the penalty, but I mean, you got to do something going forward. Scotland game, they broke through, and I mean, they did what they
Honestly,
should have done.
I haven't been impressed with any of these teams except Scotland. I think in my opinion, I've been really impressed with Scotland. I think they've played some
Yeah,
really good football. They just got done by talent, but especially in really Czech Republic, I guess I'm impressed with them because they had moments of brilliance from Kudela. Like Kudela is the reason why they're here. Oh, I said Kudela.
chick.
That's the racist dude. Schick. Schick is the reason why they've got a moment of brilliance from Schick, and he's really the reason why all three of his goals are the reason why they're here in the knockout stage. But other than that, they haven't really been that impressive either. And Croatia has been massively underwhelming, especially in the attacking third. You know, no real movement from them, no real, you know, quality really. It's just been disappointing. I've been disappointing in their midfield. They haven't dominated games like they did in the 2018 World Cup, and I've been most underwhelmed with England. I mean, they've only given stretches of brilliance. They haven't really played good football for a 40, even a 45-minute. I was about to say 90-minute stretch. Have they even had a good half yet? Maybe that first half against Croatia, but still that was mixed. But you know, England did get the all 7 out of 9 points, which is enough to get first place. But you know, I really don't see the positives of that
They
when you
did
have
well
to
enough
face.
to get through
At least
the group stages, but we have more expectations for them.
once
And what worry,
one thing that's really good for them though is that the chance that they get to stay at Wembley for this next game. That could actually play an impact in whoever they face staying at Wembley, even though it hasn't really seemed like an advantage as of right now. Yes, Noah?
oh, I was about to say, what worries me about England is just like their inability to score that many goals. Like they may have not conceded any goals, which is kind of surprising.
That has a
considering
lot
how-
to do.
The quality of the teams haven't.
We're not saying look, yes, the quality also, but also the way they're structured. You know, the defense hasn't really been tested.
Yeah. But okay, back to scoring goals. Their inability to score that many goals. They've only scored 2 goals this entire term. Think about that. That's not going to get you past Germany, possibly France, possibly Portugal. That's not going to get you past those types of teams in the round of 16. So yeah, that's like very concerned. Very concerned.
Yeah, Harry Kane. I mean, he just I don't. He's been really underwhelming.
No
I mean,
service and overrated combination of those two.
Sterling is the only
I mean,
person
yeah.
that scored. The only person.
Sterling has been the best player for England this tournament.
Yep.
Maybe you can shout out Pickford too, or maybe Mings, even though he's only played 2 games. Other than that, I think Sterling's been the best player this tournament for England, even though he
scored the
hasn't
goals,
been
but
that
his
well.
performance hasn't been amazing.
He's the only
I
been.
mean,
He's
he
the
was
only.
alright today.
He's the only guy that's been threatening. And that
He's
front three.
literally, he's the only reason why y'all have like 2 wins besides the people who've assisted on.
No, I'm not gonna say that, but he's the only reason why he's been the most threatening with his runs in behind. That's been the most threatening. He had a couple chances today. His pace broke through the deadlock against Croatia, even though it was a great move by Harry Kane to go overlap his side to open up because Vita got attracted out. But still, it was still a great move by him in that in the Croatia game in the 50 whatever minute it was. So I think Sterling has been the most lively of players. You know, Sancho getting his first minutes of the tournaments. Don't get me started on that. I don't understand that. But at the same time, a lot of people,
He
the
got
problem-
proven right
the
with the Saka thing, but he should have gotten more minutes.
yeah, yes, yeah. Saka, I think Saka also deserved to play, but the only thing that I have a little quibble with the English fans is at first they attack him for not playing Grealish. Then he plays Grealish on for the last 30 minutes or Yeah, 30 minutes. He plays well, but he doesn't play fantastically well. He gets put in the lineup next week, and then everybody wants to attack him for not playing Sancho, and he's like, he can't win. He
No, I
can't
think they
win.
wanted him to start ahead of Saka.
Yeah, but they were proven wrong. Saka played well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and this is a stepping stone for Saka. I mean, he's only 19 years old. There's not many players like that. It's been nobody talks about Saka, but he's really a talented player too.
yeah, it's just he's in Arsenal and they're not
Yeah.
they're not dominating teams.
Well, this is the end of our review for Group D, the most boring group so far this European Championship. Real quick on that comment, I don't think I've watched a game in this group where I've been excited. Actually, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. I thought that was a pretty good game. I thought both teams went at it, and I thought a moment of brilliance from Schick won that game. But other than that, everything else has been so boring.
Yeah,
Croatia, England was okay the first one, so it was all right. But other than that,
I mean,
Scot-
Czech Republic fans were into it, like England, etc. Early on, it was kind of cool because fans were really happy about it. Like we're cheering, and I mean, they scored a
yeah.
goal. They had a few chances. That was all right to start the game.
All right, so really quickly, what do y'all think the Noah, you had England going to the finals. What do you think is their absolute peak? Where's the farthest you think this team could go? Not even counting like what teams they potentially face. Like what team are they? Are they a finalist? Are they a semifinal team? Are they a quarterfinal? Are they a round of 16 team?
As of right now, they're a semifinal peak. Semifinal, second round. I mean, I do not see them going to the finals after this. No.
Imran?
Their absolute peak, I would agree with them. I mean, they still have talent, and if they can get it together, they can string a couple wins. If
I
they
think
somehow can nick it against the Group F team, then
I
they
think
should
their
have a chance.
I think their peak is quarterfinal. I think their peak is quarterfinal. It's been underwhelming. You don't win games the way they've been winning games. And I don't think that they can suddenly turn on from being a slow block, defensive, pragmatic team to a team that attacks and plays well, that takes it to teams like Belgium does, or France does, or Germany does. And I think those are really the teams that make it far into this tournament. I know England made to the semifinals last tournament, but that really was not a semifinal team. That was a quarterfinal team. They just happened to play easy games on the way there. And when they came up against an average team or a decent team, they lost. I think that's what this team is. I think they're a quarterfinal team if they figure out a way to get an easy draw, which they're not, because they're gonna straight up. This is the great thing. This is I wouldn't say revenge, but this is like something they have to pay back for last year's easy draw, that they go right away play a decent top team. But of their absolute peak, I also think that I think personally they're a quarterfinalist, because that's what this team is. I don't think you can go from being a pragmatic team to suddenly being an attacking team that takes it to the other team. I don't think that's possible. I think they're a quarterfinal
I
team.
mean,
Really
I don't
quickly,
think they have to do that if they can somehow get a goal and defend. Like, I
can't
know
do that against
that's
can't
not
do
how they should play,
can't
but
do that against the top teams. I don't think so. All right, real quick.
and then hit them hard.
Real quick. Let's finish up. Croatia, real quick. What do you think your peak? Let's go through this quickly. What do you think Croatia's peak is? Quickly.
I think maximum one game because
So
they can
quarterfinal,
Quarterfinals,
Yeah.
quarterfinals. Yeah, I'll have to agree. Yeah, I'm leaning actually towards round of 16.
Yeah.
No, I think their peak is round of 16, because if I'm saying England's peak is quarter, I think their peak is round of 16, because I don't see much teams that they'll potentially face that they'll beat. I don't fancy them over anybody, except maybe if they face Switzerland or Ukraine, and those are Ukraine. I said Switzerland or Czech Republic, and those are third place teams that they're not going to face. Yeah, I don't think they move. I don't think they passed around the 16s
Unless
in
they
my
have like one
opinion.
of their best games, like if they have their best game of this tournament.
But they haven't looked well this entire year, going back to the end.
Yeah, but the question is like at your peak. So I'm just giving them
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah,
If I have
no.
to predict, I would say they're out in the round of 16. But
Yeah, really quick. I'm predicting Czech Republic will get knocked on their ass whoever they play in the round of 16. How about y'all?
Same here. Same
I
here.
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, they're honestly the worst team left, I would say. I think they're worse than Switzerland. I think they're the
Yeah.
worst team left.
Yeah. I mean, they got lucky to be honest. Like Scotland, they weren't that great, but they got a couple. You know,
Yeah.
shook made a got moment of magic.
And I don't
And
want to crap on Czech Republic. It's just they're not that good of a team. And
at least they got 4 points in their qualifiers.
y'all know
So
what? Yeah.
they're happy about that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, this is the end of our review for Group D in our SBC Euro series. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with our review of the two fantastic groups in Group E and Group F, which will both come down to the wire. And the key thing that we'll be talking about tomorrow is whether or not Portugal is still in the tournament. Can't wait to see. Y'all, peace out. Have a good day.